everyone, Charlene here from Senparlene, and today in this video we shall be looking back at my 2020 to 2021 sketchbook. When you first open it up, you find a lot of loose papers. This one was from when I was working with my little cousin on a little art project. This one is from when I was planning out my cousin's Christmas present. He loves Shiba Inus, and he especially loves it when dogs wear little bandanas. These are probably the most questionable drawing in this whole sketchbook. And I try to say that in the most natural way. Some of my friends would message me this a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. And I just so happened to be thinking about some of them while I was playing with this Crayola marker spray paint thing with my little cousin. So I kind of just drew it. And now you see the actual introduction to the sketchbook. I have some rainbows, some hearts, a chibi of myself, and a lot of butterfly stickers, which aren't going to leave. You're going to find that there's a lot of those throughout the sketchbook. The following page contains some goals that I have for the sketchbook, some special thanks I have for some family and friends, and start and finish dates. And here's my first artwork. Here we have a girl in a cafe-like setting. On the window we have the words etched today and tomorrow, kind of representing the unexpectedness of COVID-19. Now we're at Tusa, which means rabbit. So I drew these rabbit-like people and placed these paper flowers and created some movement using line. And here is Goal. That was my cousin's plushie. Here's Mao and Niao. Mao means cat, Niao means bird, and if you look closely, you can see the characters hidden somewhere. Not gonna lie, the Niao one kind of scared me a little bit, so I decided to fix it by drawing a cute girl behind the mask. And I created a little story about her, of how that's actually her husband's work outfit. I created a whole comic about how they met and stuff, and it really helped me get over that little fear. And then I got tired of drawing the couple and I drew a different couple. After that I drew this lady holding cherry blossoms, because cherry blossoms are beautiful. I drew a little girl putting a flower crown on her older brother. Kind of reminds me of how I used to put an uncanny amount of hair clips on my cousin's hair. I was a very annoying child. And then to the right I drew another cute girl. One day I really wanted to practice drawing shoes, and I just happened to stumble across Best Dress video on her shoe collection, and I drew a bunch of her shoes. Now we're in the watercolor section. Woo! I really like the way I did the tree one, because I love rendering trees. They're just so fun to me. And then, I kind of went a little too far. Then I practiced doing more paper-oriented artworks. The whole thing's made of paper, even this little guy here that says soaring to new heights. Yeah, he's made of post-it notes, just like the basket of the air balloon. Here is a dress that you saw earlier, and here's a page where it's full of facial expressions, which that's what the word means, consonants. And then I watched the Ancient Magus Bride, and I drew some of the characters. I didn't do Silver enough justice. Ruth, though, I love the way I did him. The flower over there is also based off of a scene from the anime. The overall style, though, is from an artist that I don't remember, but we studied back in 2nd grade. While I was watching the Ancient Magus Bride, Those Awaiting a Star, I drew this girl, and originally it was supposed to be a cute witch, but then it looked like a creepy doll. The right was just, I wanted to use the blue color pencil, so I drew birds. On the left we have a piece called Life. In my culture, butterflies symbolize a deceased loved one, so I drew a person living their life along the path that the butterfly created. And here's more facial expressions. As you can tell, I'm kind of going insane during quarantine. The following 2 pages are from a previous video, and the following page after that is just testing out the ColourPop pens. And I drew a bunny because my friends and I were playing Terraria and they really liked the bunnies. Here are 2 of my friends as cats because I didn't know what to draw one day and one of them suggested it. Here are some planning pages for Art in a Time of Social Distancing, my first Art 1 project during quarantine. And here's the final image. My teacher was actually surprisingly super proud of me with this one. And I actually, when I won an award, they showed this image. The piece is called Keep in Touch, by the way. On the right, I have a bunch of little doodles I have from middle school that I used to hide, but I realized it's not that bad, so I slapped it on there. These two, the bear and the cute girl, those are kind of new. The papers are old, but the doodles on them are new. Then I got tired of drawing cute girls and I drew a cute guy. Look how pretty his face is. Look at those shiny little eyes. And I also drew him on the right, but in my opinion, he looks a lot cuter on the left. The next page is just me messing around with some markers. And here is an ad I did for health. It's called a truth ad. After that is basically an automatic drawing that visualizes a song. I chose Everything's Alright. It's my most favorite song. After that is a kind of redo of it, something more in my style. And yeah, I got to turn in fan art for an art assignment. It's pretty crazy, man. Here's some more fan art that wasn't for class. The left is the main characters and the right is from a bird story. Here on the left is some golden koi and the right is a snake. I'm not happy with how it cuts off. Maybe next time I can redeem myself and have it not cut off awkwardly like that. The next page has another automatic drawing and Catbug from the Bravest Warriors. YouTube kept recommending me a bunch of Catbug clips, and let me just say, he's the most adorable thing. Just look at that cute little face. I also got to watch the first Bee and Puppy Cat, and let me just say, I love her aesthetic. Her outfit's just super cute. That one's my most favorite. And then we have glowing flowers at the right. At one point, I got back into watching some Minecraft videos, and I drew Stampy and his persona, because Stampy Longnose is my childhood. And on the right is a reference to something, and if you understand that reference, you're really cool. Let's be friends. The next page is some Kiss Him Not Me fan art with Asuma and Kai, my ship. It's my favorite anime, and during this time I reread the manga. And then after that was some questionable drawings. On the left, we were doing these collage-like drawings where we incorporate like different parts of bodies like eyes, ears, hair. But then I realized I don't really have a meaning for it, so it's not going anywhere. On the right, I just wanted to draw eyes, but then after a while, I got creeped out by it, so I wrote look away. The left here is just a birdie made of swirlies, and the right is a piece called 2020. Basically, the golden dots represents a hope, and the distorted shapes at the top represent like how things aren't going as planned, but we're still holding on to that hope. And once again, those butterflies returned. So my friend had a virtual painting party for her birthday, and we were supposed to draw these space painting, but I didn't like how it turned out, so I used the leftover paint to make 4 different pieces. We got a little spaceman on the bottom left, and we have a bunch of other pieces that I'm a lot more proud of, a lot more confident to show. Then I did some media explorations with gel highlighters, and it's actually really fun. I highly recommend trying it out once for a project. They could be a little messy, but they're fun to blend. On the next page, I drew this little animal. It didn't turn out the way I wanted. It looked a little eerie. Next time, I will redeem myself and make it like extra cute. The right, I tried to do the same thing I did with Ruth, but with a human girl, but it didn't really work the way I wanted to. But I didn't hide this one because I really liked the shine in her eyes. I thought it was really cute. So I still had a lot of paint left for my friend's painting party, and I decided to use the natural colors of the paint to create this piece. It's kind of hard for me to look at because I actually can't really look at neons. They really hurt my eyes. But I still think it's a really cool piece. This was just an automatic drawing of me messing around, but I distinctly remember while drawing this, I was watching the most epic musical battle of 2020. One day, I wanted to make an interactive art piece, so here's 2 girls saying hi, and when you put them together, they form a heart that says, "Miss you." I wish I did a lot more with the background, though. I feel like it's a little too light, and I feel like it could also just be made a lot more interesting in general. When I said that I got into making interactive pieces, I didn't really stop there. The next page is a different piece that you may or may not have seen from previous videos. If you're interested in seeing the process and hearing my friends' beautiful, angelic voices commentating on what I'm doing, feel free to watch the video on it. I'll leave it in the description box below. Next are some crayon drawings I did with my little cousin. Funny story, she told me, Auntie Charlene, aren't you gonna mess up? Shouldn't you use pencil first? And I said, no, that's not gonna happen. And then a few seconds later I mess up and I accidentally put the hand of the girl on the left a little too close to the lips. So the time of this drawing, I joined an art group chat and the theme that they decided was time and bunny, so I did Alice in Wonderland. I feel like I could do a lot better with the dress. I wanted to be bouncy, but instead it kind of ended up being like a short, stiff dress. Here I created a visual comparison of the effects that a spatula and a soft bristle brush creates. I still had a lot of paint left from my friend's painting party, so I did my best to try to ease it all up. I wish you guys could be here to feel the paintings because they have a lot of texture to it. There was a beautiful picture of Bob Ross, if you notice. The following artwork is what I call allergies. As much as I love flowers and cute animals, spring kills me. And then to the right, there's a cute girl. The next page, I do a little doodle and write an acrostic poem about summer. Yeah, I wasn't having much fun drawing during that time. The following pages are from a previous video I did. Feel free to watch that in your spare time. Here I did a side-by-side comparison of oil pastels and gel highlighters. I know I wrote the left words really big. I didn't really think that one through. In the art group chat I previously mentioned, we had a new prompt called Love and Friendship. Here are some different ideas I had for the prompt, and turn the page, and here's what I did. I didn't show this to the group chat, but what's inside it I did show. I did a Kai Asuma fan art, because as I said, they're my favorite couple in this series. They white ship. And then those are just practice ones I did, and I plopped them in there. And then behind this other paper, I actually ended up doing the pose that from the previous page, because I really liked it. Originally, I wanted to draw Asuma and Kai hugging, but then I realized there's a lot of Asuma and Kai fan art in the sketchbook. Moving on, here's the Kawamoto sisters from March Comes In Like a Lion. May I just say, Kar Kawamoto is my goddess. I love her. She's my waifu. But surprisingly, rather than her being the spotlight on the right, I chose her middle sister because I just loved seeing her development, and also her haircut at the end is just cute. I couldn't not draw her. Here are some more pages from previous videos. Feel free to check them out on your spare time. One of my friends invited me to an alpaca farm, and we were greeted by these two cats, and I drew some of the poses of the cats. On the right, I drew my friend drawing this sheep. And here are the actual alpacas. They weren't actually standing like that. I just drew the most interesting poses, especially like the right one. Just look at that glorious smile. Here are the practice and planning pages for my strawberry dress video I did a while back. And here is some ideas I had for an art telephone in the art group chat. And the left shows the final one. The right is a different art telephone. Originally, it was really gruesome, the previous person's, but I have little cousins and they look at my sketchbook and I don't want them to see that. The left image is a picture of my piece from before my large break. And on the right is an art telephone. The page following that, we have just a cute anime girl. I just wanted to use the purple color pencil. That's all there was to it. Now we're at the segment where I skipped to Art 3. The reason why I skipped Art 2 was because of scheduling. It wouldn't fit if I did that. And our first assignment for Art 3 was to make a video about why we like art, what got us into it, and I drew my mom showing me to draw, and here's a never before seen image of leveling up. It wasn't included in the video because I didn't know how to do leveling up particles, and if it's not going to show up the way I want it, then I just exclude it. Our first actual art prompt was reflections and distortions, and I used different objects like glass, mirrors, and phones within mirrors to get the reflections and the distortions. I ended up choosing this makeup one and did a lot of exploration with the media of makeup. And before any of you come at me saying, oh, you're wasting money using makeup for art, well, a lot of people would give me makeup, and the thing is, most of them are either really old, so they're kind of expired, or I'm allergic to it and I can't use it, and I'd be wasting money if I threw it away. Here on the left, I followed along to my teacher's mini lesson on masking. On the right and the next page, I have a little bit of feedback from classmates. Now we get to the prompt about unfinished works. The left was about strangers and how some traits stick with you. I'll explain the right more because that's the one I ended up choosing. The right on this page is the same as the first. This one's about how pictures bring back memories. The girl was just someone I saw that I thought was pretty. Okay, so now I'll tell you about the one I told you I'd talk about. So basically at a funeral, I felt someone touch my left shoulder, and a couple other people also experienced something similar, but no one was there. And it wasn't something scary to me, it felt reassuring, and at that moment I thought it was the person I lost. While I was also practicing for an ad for my club, I was also doing a lot of exploration with how I should approach the background of that work. Speaking of clubs, I also had Key Club, and we had extra paint from painting kindness rocks, so I used it up. Here's another Art Day prompt. We had to research an old artist who had a very, very famous work, and here are the three I chose and looked at, did some research on, and we had to think of a piece that is inspired by their work. I had a hard time choosing between Karaoke Neko and A Sunday Afternoon, but I ended up choosing Karaoke Neko. I was very paranoid about this piece, so I did so much different practices before actually approaching. I practiced trees, I practiced clouds, I practiced even more trees, and here was the paper I was supposed to do it on, but then I last minute decided, never mind, I'm gonna do digital art, and that was the second time I did a huge digital art piece. Our last and final Art 3 prompt of the semester was Paint the Town, and the one that I really wanted to do was creating a cow statue to inform future generations about the origins of my hometown, which is that it's a dairy farm. And here was the final plan that I approached, and I decided to do this in SketchUp, which was different because I don't normally do 3D modeling for art class, and we didn't have to come up with fake measurements. I did so that I didn't accidentally make it lopsided. I take constructing cows very seriously. Moving on, I wrote some tricks and tips about SketchUp. I drew a little sketch on my desk, and I drew a man of science, which is my cousin, because we had to do that for science class, and I ran out of paper in Algebra 2, and I ended up resorting to Sketchbook. And now here's a little comic I did, since during this time I didn't have art or Chinese that semester, so I practiced both by making a comic. Yeah. If you could read Chinese, feel free to pause the video and read it and check to see if I wrote right. Yeah. They're basically little comics about, like, the names of the two main characters. This is also a comic that I made for biology. It's about biodiversity. And then after that, we are at the featured works, which is basically my cousins and my little brother got bored and they asked if they could use my sketchbook, and now you get to admire their very creative character designs. And that brings us to the end of my sketchbook. I hope you guys enjoyed viewing my work and hearing my voice. I can't believe you've been here for like 18 minutes. If you really like this video or my content in general, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!